Hi everyone, and welcome to week 4 of hied 552 Student Affairs Practice. We finished a great conversation this past week talking about student affairs practitioners and faculty partnerships as we work together towards student learning and some of the challenges that exist, but also some of the opportunities. And I was encouraged to see some of the connections that you all were making with the readings as you were writing about those in your discussions. So I'm looking forward to what this next week has to hold as we talk about professional organizations and professional competencies within student affairs. And so you'll notice within the module there's a couple of readings, assigned readings. One I want to really bring your attention to is the 2015 professional competencies document. This is basically a publication that ACPA and NASPA put out together, and the idea is that student affairs practitioners will be able to be competent in these 10 areas. And so there's an update from the 2010 version. So they talk about some of the changes that were made from the earlier version. And actually, it's very interesting in one section where they were talking about how the word supporting, or excuse me, advising and helping has changed to advising and supporting because there's so much emphasis on helping students to develop self-authorship and autonomy. So we don't want to hand them answers or hand them just the ability to do it. We want them to actually own that, and so not do it for them, but get them to be able to do it themselves. And so equipping them with the skills, supporting them in the process. And so about page 7 is when it really gets into the actual competencies. And so I'm hoping this will be sort of a personal self-check for you, that you'll read through these and think, what are some areas that I have good knowledge in so far, and then where do I just really need to grow, and whether that's professional development, attending a conference, or doing more research, or just gaining more experience. I think we can't underestimate the fact that experience is really important to knowledge in this field. And so as you're reading through that, please be encouraged to know that part of it is just getting more experience. Now, some of you have been in the field for a while, and some of you, it's really just your first experience professionally doing this. And so I just don't want you to put too much pressure on yourself, to be encouraged that it will come with time. But it's good to kind of think about where you hope to grow, and where you need some growth in these professional competency areas. And so this week you'll also be turning in your session proposal for the assignment for the program proposal for a professional conference. And you'll notice that the second question in there is, what professional competency areas does this proposal address, or this session address? And basically, how could you help someone grow in a specific area? What does your program use or address that would really help someone in their knowledge of technology, or advising and supporting, or whatever it is? And so hopefully you guys will feel good about those as you're turning those in this week. And also, I wanted to make mention, as we're talking about ACPA and NASPA and professional organizations, I've noticed in the past conference I went to for NASPA, they talked a lot about knowledge communities. And if you don't know what that is, basically these are smaller subsets or groups that focus on a specific topic. It could be a functional area, it could be, disabilities, they focus on disabilities, or career, like career services, those kinds of things, or it could be a demographic, a certain population. So these might be actually really great resources for you all as you are doing your work on your functional area, to be able to look at some of these knowledge communities. So if you're trying to find information, you would look under NASPA, knowledge community, and then your topic, and see if there is something that exists. They have on their main page like a link that talks about all the knowledge communities, but maybe you'd find one that relates specifically to your topic. And there's some real opportunities within these knowledge communities to learn more again about this topic, but also for leadership, because these knowledge communities have leaders within them. And so you could, as a member, join one of these knowledge communities and then maybe take an opportunity toward getting professional development through leadership through those. And so I want to make sure that you take advantage of that if you're able to. And then also this week, our practitioner spotlight is James Winfield. And James is a very good friend of mine. We worked at the University of South Carolina together years ago, and then he took a position at Benedict College as the Director of Student Success. And Benedict is a historically black college in Columbia, South Carolina. And I just have so much respect for James. He's been an incredible colleague and friend, and just has a real passion for students and for the work in student affairs. And so I'm hoping that you can enjoy listening to that spotlight. And unfortunately, I was kind of bummed because some of the video wasn't great, but it's very clear you can hear it. So I would encourage you to just stick with it and listen, because it's really good information as you're watching that this week for this practitioner spotlight. So if you have any questions that come up, I know a couple of you have reached out about specific questions, and that's great. I'm encouraged to hear what your questions are. So please don't hesitate to let me know. I'm happy to work with you individually or as the group. If you guys have a question collectively, please don't hesitate to let me know. So thank you so much, and I look forward to what this next week has to hold.